Obviously, what I'm talking about tonight is protection. Protection is in our everyday lives, at home, at work, as parents, and also outside. At home, we are protected from the weather. It is a meeting place with friends and family, a place of security. As parents, we protect our children from hunger with food, from weather with clothes. At work and in sport, we wear protective clothing on our head, our body, and over our eyes. We also have the emergency services, police, ambulance, and fire, who also need protective clothing in order to protect themselves and us from any harm that comes our way. As Christians, do we need protection? I would say yes. We all know that we have God as our protector, but we need to protect ourselves, as it is stated in Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 to 20, the armour of God. Finally, brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armour of God, that you may be able to stand against wills of the devil. For we do not wrestle against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rules of the darkness of this age, against spiritual hosts and wickedness in the heavenly places. Therefore, put on the armour of God, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all to stand. Therefore, have girded your waist with truth, having put on the breastplate of righteousness, and have shod your feet with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, with you will be able to quench all fiery darts of the wicked one, and take the helmet of salvation, the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God, praying always with all prayer and supplications in the Spirit, being watchful to this end with all perseverance and supplications of all saints. And for me, the utterance may be given to me, that I may open my mouth boldly and make known the mystery of the gospel, for which I am ambassador in chains, that in it I may speak boldly as I ought to speak. When we put on our armour with God, who provides for us, we have all the protection we need to conquer our enemy in the spiritual realms. For me personally, I try to read Ephesians 6:10 to 20 every day before I leave my home. But throughout the Bible, we hear lots more of God's protection in a lot of different ways, which I've got 5 to read. The first one, Job 5:19. He shall deliver you in 6 troubles, yet in 7 no evil shall touch you. Psalm 121. I will lift up my eyes to the hills, from whence comes my help. My help comes from the Lord, who made heaven and earth. He will not allow your foot to be moved. He who keeps you will not slumber. Behold, he who keeps Israel shall never slumber nor sleep. The Lord is your keeper. The Lord is your shade at your right hand. The sun shall not strike you by day, nor the moon by night. The Lord shall preserve you from evil. He shall preserve your soul. The Lord shall preserve your going out and coming in from this time forth and even forevermore. Proverbs 30 verse 5. Every word of God is pure. He is a shield to those who put their trust in him. 2 Timothy 1:7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and a sound mind. Isaiah 41:13. For I, the Lord your God, will hold your right hand, saying to you, fear not, I will help you. And lastly, a poem what really is always deep in my heart, and if this is not protection from the Lord, I don't know what is. The poem is Footprints. One night, a man dreamt a dream. He was walking along the beach with the Lord. Across the dark sky flashed scenes of his life. For each scene he noticed two sets of footprints in the sand, one belonging to him and one to the Lord. When the last scene of his life shot before him, he looked back at the footprints in the sand, and in his surprise he noticed that many times along the path of his life there was only one set of footprints. He realized that this was at the lowest and saddest times of his life. This always bothered him, and he questioned the Lord about his dilemma. Lord, you told me when I decided to follow you, you would walk and talk with me all the way. But he was aware that during the most troublesome times of his life, there was only one set of footprints. He just didn't understand why, when he needed you most, you'd leave him. He whispered, my precious child, I love you and will never leave you. Ever during the trials and testings, when you saw only one set of footprints, it was then that I carried you. If the Lord is going to carry you there in the sand, the Lord will carry you at all the times, no matter when. Thank you.